Week 2 for Jacksonville State finds them on the road for the first time. Coach Julie Carlson's bunch headed to Jackson State for a Friday afternoon contest at 4 p.m. and then on Sunday afternoon up in Huntsville at Alabama A&M. Let's review the first weekend. Tough one on Friday night here at home. Middle Tennessee State, a 2-0 setback, but Sunday afternoon was real good in the contest in Atlanta at Georgia State, a 2-1 win there, and the first victory ever by a Jacksonville State squad over Georgia State. Middle Tennessee had a little bit of game experience. Did that help them in the early going against you?
Yeah, I think definitely it helped them as far as creating momentum early. I think we came out a little nervous. I think we made some really unfortunate mistakes in the first 13 minutes that became costly mistakes, but they're fixable mistakes, and the kids knew that. The experienced players knew they're controllable, and they didn't control the controllables from the start. But as we rotated some players in and changed the front line, I thought things picked up. I thought the possession got better. Just statistically, when we look at it and watch film, you take the first 13-15 minutes out of that game and it's a different ball game. So I think they learned a hard lesson. I think they learned it early, and I think what was important was they learned it when it counted. Instead of making mistakes in an exhibition game where there is no pressure and it's you can kind of shove it off, but in this case it's like, no, it does count at the end of the day, and that's what we want them to understand, is that those little mistakes can become costly, and we want that lesson to be learned early before going into the OVC. And they fixed so much on Sunday. I mean, they executed their set pieces. The first goal from Katie Mans to Brianna Bajuvis was a set piece. It was a free kick. It was ran very well, and it was executed well. And I think there wasn't a whole lot of mistakes that, there were times where things got a little scary, and you got a little nervous, but they really did a good job controlling the momentum of the game. Their possession was better. I mean, it was, I wouldn't say night and day, but they fixed the things they needed to fix that wouldn't concede doing, stupid stuff, and they came out with a different, approach, a different mentality, different mission, really.
First time Jacksonville State has ever beaten Georgia State. Would you say that's as big of a win since you've been here, or at least as big a non-conference win since you've been here?
Yeah, I'd definitely put it up there for sure. Georgia State's a good team. They're in the CAA, moving into the Sun Belt. They've always had, we've recruited against them in the recruiting world, and, there's players playing for them that we tried to get. And I think Derek Leader, who's their head coach, and their previous coach, well-respected coaches. So it was a personal victory from a coaching standpoint, a moral victory, and I think a crosstown rival victory. And, you could tell it meant something, and they played with that kind of passion that night.
Can you tell since then a difference in your training sessions now? A little bit more confidence, maybe a little bit quicker step, so to speak, after the victory?
Yeah, they seem relaxed. They're happy, which is important. They're having fun, which is important. But when the points are being made and coaches are making certain points, they're switched on and they're focused. And I think this was a big step for them to believe, and that they actually can go out and control a game and be a good team on the field. And this is very important to learn this message early, but they can't take any negative steps. They have to do that against weaker teams and stronger teams that they're about to face. And, they really have to, this is where senior leadership is going to be really important, and experience is going to pay off.
All right, you're on the road Sundays, we said, Friday at Jackson State, then Sunday at Alabama A&M. Two contests that are very winnable for you, aren't they?
They're winnable, unpredictable teams, though. They're just they're teams that you just really don't know what to expect at times, and so it's important for us to control the game for full 90 minutes. And I think if they do that and they take care of business in the final third, they should have 2 victories. But, historically we've played Jackson State, and we've gone into overtime with them. We've tied them. We've done things that, have kept them into the game, and we've got to put the game away early and not allow the other team to build any confidence.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Julie Carlson, Jacksonville State soccer coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Jacksonville State soccer getting ready for week 2 of the 2012 season. Last week, home opener, season opener against Middle Tennessee State. Short end of a 2-0 count there, but came back on Sunday afternoon in Atlanta to knock off Georgia State to even the record at 1-1. One of the seniors this year's squad is goalkeeper Katelyn Geddings. 16 saves in the first 2 matches over the weekend. A win and a loss, so let's get your perspective. How did you think this weekend went for the squad?
For Middle Tennessee on Friday, you could tell it was kind of a season opener for us. Coming into it, Middle Tennessee had already played 2 games, and it was our first game coming off of just playing each other from preseason. Friday was a little struggle for us, and we started to pick it up towards the end of each half. But going into Georgia State definitely was just, like everybody just opened their eyes and came out and ready to play.
Got a quick goal, an early goal in that game. Did that sort of take a little pressure off everybody? Everybody breathe a little bit easier at that point?
A little bit, and then we kind of panicked after the first goal. But, most teams do that. But after that, we just kind of played our game, just possessed the ball just like we do, and didn't play Georgia State's game.
Had to be exciting. I think it's the first time that a Jacksonville State team has ever beaten Georgia State before, so to be a part of that had to be exciting.
It was very exciting to learn that, our senior squad came in and we beat them, knowing that normally we lose or tie them, but to beat them was great.
All right, let's talk about this week. You go on the road for the first time. You're a veteran, so you've been through this. Some of the youngsters, though, it'll be the first time for them. So do you talk to them about what to expect when you're away from home?
Yes, we normally do. Coach will take us through it as, home, you're home, so it's more exciting. And then going away, it's a little different because you're on someone else's home turf. So we just kind of tell them, hey, pretend it's your home turf. Play like we do at home and just treat it as a home game.
You go to Jackson State, Alabama A&M, so a chance, 2 very winnable contests on the road for you, right?
Yes, sir. Very exciting. So hopefully we can put it together, play our game, not theirs, and put some goals in the back of the net and come on with 2 W's.
All right, being the goalkeeper, talk a little bit about that. At times you're isolated down here, I guess, by yourself, but do you like it when there's some pressure on you on this end of the field?
I do. That's the only reason I do it. I love the pressure on myself. Shoot, I could play anywhere else on the field and do any other sport, but doing the pressure is always fun. It can either be your fault why we lose, or it can be your punt down the field that scores the goal, to a forward that scores the goal. It's either you win or you lose, but it's so much fun to have that pressure on you.
You are a psychology major with a minor in coaching. Explain that, if you will.
I've always wanted to, go into coaching, and psychology is just one of those things that came easy to me, and anything I could do. You just think, what do you want to do? And psychology is one of the ones that I really enjoy.
Graduation is not far from you, is it?
No, sir, it's not.
December?
It'll be May.
May, next spring, okay. You're not far from home, from Corner. Did that play a part in your reason to come to Jacksonville State?
Yes, sir, it did. I'm a small-town person, so I really enjoy Jacksonville. It's a little bit bigger than home, but, it still has that small-town feel to it.
Well, congratulations so far. Good luck the rest of the year. Thank you.
Thank you.